have seen about the text properties and the font properties. Let us see in our today's video. Let us see about the image properties. For these image properties, you have four properties. One is border for the image, height for the image, width for the image, and the border radius for the image. So let us see these properties in Visual Studio Code. We already have certain background properties added, some font properties and some text properties added to our page. Here we are going to add the image properties. To add the properties of the image, first you need to have an image in that particular page. To add an image, we know that in our HTML we do have an image tag. The link for this image video will be added in the description. It is also present in the HTML playlist. You can just check it over there. So for this image, you have a source. In order to add the image from online, you have certain steps to follow that is also being added in that particular video. You can go through it. So let us add an online image. I'm going to use the Chrome. Here, I'll just go with Pixabay. This is a wonderful website which gives you the HD images. You can use any image in your page. So you have a Pixabay, and inside this Pixabay, I'll just be using this butterfly one. I'll be using this image, copy the image address, go back to your Visual Studio Code, paste it over there, and here you have this image present. Now we can see an image over here. To add certain height, width, border, and other things for this image, you can use the image properties. I'll go back to the style page, and for this image, I'm just going to use image tag. And with this image tag, you have height and width for the image. First, I'm going to specify certain height for the image. I'll just add it as 150 pixels so that my image is small. The width, I'm not going to change the width. Let it be the same. Or I'll just give the width as a 200 pixels for now. And then next you have the border. So you want the border of 1 pixel solid. So you can see a line is being added here. See here in this border properties, there are multiple properties which we are going to see in the next section. You have solid, you have dashed, you have dotted, you have grids, you have outset. There are multiple things that are there. We are going to see it in the border properties. Now let us see for default here. I'm going to add as a 5 pixels and solid. So this is how the border is going to look like. Now next, if you want to add certain radius for the border, so you have border radius. I'll just be adding 25 pixels. You can see the edges are getting curved here. So these are certain image properties which you can add for your particular image. This was about the image properties. Now let us see about the border properties. So here you have border color, border width, border style. Now whatever width you want for your border, you can use the border width. Whichever color you want for that particular border, you can use border color. You have border style. I told you that there are 11 border styles that are there, which you can use for as your needs. So let us see these border styles in our Visual Studio. Next, I'll be creating certain paragraphs here. Paragraph 1. And for this paragraph, I'll be using the class is equals to solid. And here I'll give the border for this paragraph is solid. In the same way, I'll be using 11 paragraphs like this, wherein each class will be having a different name and the paragraph within will have a different name. So I have here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. And for all these, I'll also be adding BR tags so that the bifurcation should be neat and clean. Copy it, paste. Now let us change the class names and also inside the paragraph. Okay, these are the 11 types of border styles that you have. One is solid, dashed, dotted, ridge, groove, outset, inset, double, mixed, none, and hidden. You can use any of these for your borders. So now what I have done is I have given the name itself for the class names so that it is easier for us to design here. So what I'm going to do here, I'm just going to use directly the class name, and for the borders you have border. Here you can use just the normal as border, or you can use border bottom if you're giving it for different. Okay, let us see that separately. Now this is border style. Border style, the first one will be solid. I've given it as solid. Then I have border color. So the border color I'll be giving as a maroon. I'll be giving the border color as maroon. And then you have border width. You can use the border width. If you want to give a different border width for your different borders, then for the different sides of your border, you can also use it. You will have it separately as a border width, border top width, border left width, border right width, other things like this. Here you also have border image width, border bottom width. Okay, so next I have just used here as border width. That is the common border width. In the similar way, I'll be using these things for the 11 border styles that are there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. The other one is 11. So the next one that we have is the dashed border. First one is done, that is a solid. The next one is dashed. I'll be giving this as a red, and this style I'll use it as dashed. Now you can see that there is a dashed border for this particular paragraph. Then you have dotted. I'm using green for this dotted. After that you have a ridge. Here for this one I'll be using the border radius a bit more so that you have to understand this is a 3D effect that will be present here. So I've just given the border as 20 pixels. For these also, if you want to increase them, I'll just be increasing it to 10 pixels here so that it is easily visible for you guys as well. So this is a ridge. So this is going to give you a 3D effect for your particular paragraph. Next, you also have in the same way groove. Now this groove is an opposite of your ridge. So how it is going to be opposite? Let me just show you. This as well I'm going to give it as 20. Now whenever you see this ridge and groove, they seem similar, but they are a bit different. I'm just giving the same color for both the ridge and the groove so that you're going to understand it very neatly. Now, if you just concentrate here for the ridge, the outer edge and the outer edge is lighter than the inner edge for the left and the top, whereas for the right and the bottom, the outer edges are dark. In the same way for the groove, the outer edges of the left and the top are darker than the outer edges of the bottom and the right are lighter for the groove. So this is a slight difference between the ridge and the groove, but both are going to give you the 3D effects. So the next is inset. Next is outset we have. Again gonna give it as 20 pixels. This I'll give it as a blue in color. Remove the solid and I'll make it as outset. Now you can see that the left and the top is lighter than the bottom and the right. The opposite is for the inset, that is the top and the left will be darker than the bottom and the right. Inset, and remember, if you're just going to use the class name as inset and if you're going to wait to get the output, it is not going to give you the output unless and until you're going to make the changes for the border style. I'm going to make it blue itself. So now you can see that the top and the left are darker than the bottom and the right. Next, you have after. Okay, we have not used the double one. Double. So this is the double borders that you have. Next, I have used just to show you everything clearly. I am going to use a mixed one here. So here I'm going to make it separately visible. I'm going to add the properties separately here for all the borders and for all the other things so that you are not going to get confused. So first you have border top style. So for the top I'm going to use a double. I'm just gonna write it here. Border top color. We're gonna use it red. Border top width. I'm gonna use it as 10 pixels. So this is how you can give a different sides, a different colors, different styles, different width. So next you have border left. In the same way, I'm just gonna make everything done here. So this is the mixed one. That is, I have added border top style double. A border top color will be red. Border top width is 10 pixels. Left color I have added blue and it is dotted. It is again 10 pixels. So in the same way I have added the color style and width for all the four sides here. So you can see this. You can also use it in the double format. And you also have one more thing to add here, that is border radius. You can also use border radius. You can use a top right radius, a bottom left radius, a top left radius, other things like this. So I'm just going to use a 20 pixels here so that you can see how easily it has been curved for the radius. This is how you add the border radius. Next you have a none. So for this none property, if you just give a none here for think that you already have a certain text here. So for that text, if you don't want any border, so that at that time you need to use a none. So once you're gonna use a none, these two are not considerable. So you just need to delete them. Next, you also have hidden property of this here. So if you want to just hide it, then you need to use hidden. And again, whenever you're going to use hide or hidden, then you need not use the other properties that are there. So these two will not have any borders if you're going to use none and hidden. So let us see these two properties in Visual Studio Code before we wind this up. Let us see these two properties in Live Server. So here you have this image. For this image, we have added the border radius and also certain border. Then next we have seen about the borders, adding it to certain paragraphs or for your tables, or you can use these borders for your images. So first you have a solid, next you have dashed, you have a dotted border, you have ridge border, groove, outset border, inset, double, or you can use a mixed border, that is all the borders together. You have again a none and hidden. So these are certain border properties that are present in our CSS. This is all for today's video. Meet you again in the next video. Till then, stay tuned and keep learning. Bye bye.